They say the bloodrust zone keeps no secrets, yet even its horrors can still surprise those who dare traverse it. In recap, Tales of Hurting Gods, Chapter 913, Chapter 914, the nine-headed phoenix bore the ship through the shattered stars, shielding 6,000 gods from the awakening spirits of ancient deities. Every collision with the glowing ruins carved deeper into Qi Xiayu's strength, and every heartbeat of the vessel trembled with the weight of the apocalypse itself. Qin Mu, isolated amidst the wrathful eyes of gods and apparitions, wrestles with the creation divine stone, a jewel that seeks to claim him from within, turning his own third eye into a battlefield. As the Phoenix ship clears the final stretch of the bloodrust zone, a more perilous horizon looms. The fallen grounds of the Light Emperor await, where power and death entwine. How will Qin Mu survive when the battlefield itself hungers for him? The nine-headed phoenix erupted into the sky, its wings stretching wide like the banners of ancient heavens, shielding the Phoenix ship from the full brunt of calamity. Within this majestic form, Qi Xiayu channeled her profound primordial realm cultivation, saving all aboard from imminent ruin. Those who had flown upward upon the ship were cushioned by the Phoenix's immense silken wings, each feather as soft as drifting clouds, ensuring that no flesh was torn nor bone broken despite their tumultuous fall. The pulses emanating from the heaven bell grew more violent, causing the Phoenix ship to lurch as it pressed forward into the heart of the bloodrust zone. The vessel scraped past fragments of ancient lands, even smashing through remnants of fallen stars. Upon these long-abandoned ruins, pale rays of light erupted, illuminating structures lost to time, revealing visions that sent chills crawling across every scalp. Countless lands trembled beneath the weight of innumerable ruins. And from within the radiance, specters of primeval gods arose, floating with terrifying grandeur. The expanse of the bloodrust zone stretched endlessly, littered with crimson fragments of stars and shattered earth, yet now punctuated by the dazzling brilliance of these spectral forms. The apparition of the nine-headed phoenix strained to master the ship's path, evading the onslaught of celestial fury. From one beak came the furious tones of Qi Xiayu's voice, sharp and commanding. The bloodrust zone is perilous beyond measure. Even the celestial heavens deem this a forbidden domain. Who has caused such havoc? The 6,000 gods aboard swiveled as one, their hands rising in unison to indict Qin Mu. Even Yan'er lifted a wing, her gesture unwavering. The dragon Qilin hesitated, yet withheld its accusation. From within the depths of his ear hole, the diminutive earth count emerged, lifting a hand to point, mooing solemnly. The dragon Qilin hastened to silence him. Do not speak nonsense. The spirit pills are all forged by Cult Master. If you make baseless claims, Cult Master shall withhold your nourishment. Ashamed, the earth count retreated, head bowed, vanishing into the ear hole. Qin Mu felt a cold isolation descend upon him, his expression untouched yet heart uneasy, fearing expulsion by the furious crowd. Celestial Venerable Mu, Qiayu's voice rang from the Phoenix's form. I shall aid you this once, but expect no further succor. She drove the Phoenix ship with relentless vigor. The bloodrust zone had become a seething cauldron. From the blazing columns of light arose gods and devils, myriad in form, echoing the ancient deities themselves, hands grasping hungrily at the ship. All aboard clung to whatever they could, bracing against the violent thrashing of the vessel. The nine-headed phoenix weaved at impossible speeds, yet the expanse of the zone was endless, and more spectral forms surged from sacrificial altars ahead, each wielding the great Tao divine arts of the ancients, power unparalleled. Alone, Qi Xiayu might have met them with courage, yet the multitude of spirits threatened to overwhelm. She steered the Phoenix ship with fierce intent, narrowly evading collisions, shielding the lives aboard with supreme diligence. When unavoidable, the Phoenix shrank in form, hurtling through the spirit bodies with unmatched valor. Yet each strike drained her essence. Distance and the strain of remote primordial realm control dulled her reactions, and the Phoenix's radiance waned. At last, with her power nearly spent, the ship emerged from the perilous stretch. Relief rippled across the deck. The Phoenix's apparition dissolved, leaving behind Qi Xiayu greatly exhausted, her energy nearly spent in the salvation of all. A final message left in her wake. Send him to the celestial heavens, but cast him before the southern heavenly gate. Return the ship to me. Never allow me to see him again. Qin Mu remained in silence, bitterness heavy upon him. Qi Xiayu glanced at him with concern. Cult Master Qin, I warned of the blood rust zone's danger, yet you disregarded caution. Even the Emperor's throne realm would not tread here lightly. Assist him to the hold, men. Several gods moved swiftly, propping Qin Mu between them and escorting him below deck. Qi Xiayu applied layers of protective seals, cautioning, dangerous ruins remain. Patience is needed until we reach the celestial heavens. Yanner's curiosity stirred. Dangerous beyond this? How does it compare? Qi Juyu's reply was grave. No less perilous. In 2 days' journey lies the site where Light Emperor fell, a battlefield of death that surpasses even the blood rust zone. With solemnity, Yanner reinforced the hold seals. Only I can restrain him. None else shall. From the hold, Qin Mu's voice rose, vexed. Sister Yanner, mutinous. The dragon Qilin intervened. Cult Master, she acts for your own good. Once red deity shall not intervene, and then death will truly come. Qin Mu's rage flared. Fatty dragon, you too. During New Year's, I shall make a feast of you. The ship surged forward, swift and relentless. Within the hold, Qin Mu retrieved the red creation divine stone, pondering its significance. Likely a fragment of a greater whole, left by Wei Suifeng with intent. It radiated power both alluring and terrifying. He placed it at the heart of his brows, focus sharpening, when a sudden surge seized his body. Qi and blood roared toward the stone, emaciating him in an instant, transforming flesh into a shriveled husk. Crap, he muttered, his vital qi unable to restrain the flow, accelerating the stone's pull. This creation divine stone, what art thou? His mind reeled as he realized the stone itself sought to embed within his forehead, claiming his third eye. The energy was his own, yet the divine stone's intent was absolute, a predatory will seeking fusion. Struggling, Qin Mu reached for Yanner, for the dragon Qilin, yet motion betrayed him. His primordial spirit bound, he could only watch as the skin at his brow split, revealing a new eye within the cavity, ravenous, devouring qi, blood, and vital chi with insatiable hunger. The terror was profound. The eye, a monstrous anomaly, consumed with godlike voracity. Desperation seized him. He maneuvered the jade pendant, Qin Fengqing's legacy, forged from Earth Count's horn, between the third eye and the creation divine stone. The pendant's vast essence held them apart, granting a momentary reprieve. The creation stone collided with the pendant, striking his third eye. A flash of light erupted, energy clashing violently. Consciousness reeled, and he fell into darkness. Wei Suifeng, damn your he cursed, breath ragged, succumbing to unconsciousness. Prepare defenses at the Light Emperor's fall, shouted the gods from the deck. The dragon Qilin and Yanner ventured forth to observe the desolate battlefield, returning only after the Phoenix ship had passed. This time, Cult Master behaved, the dragon Qilin chuckled. It is rare, such restraint should be frequent, so his heart may tame. Yanner nodded in agreement. Below, Qin Mu lay still, breath shallow, the battle between his third eye, the jade pendant, and the creation divine stone continuing, a silent war of godly energies within the heart of his brows. After a long stretch of unknown time, Qin Mu stirred from his slumber, feeling every fiber of his body drained, as if both qi and blood had been plundered. His vital energies, once surging like mountain rivers, now barely flickered. Trembling, he lifted a hand to touch the heart of his brows, only to find the creation divine stone and jade pendant had vanished. What transpired while I lay in a coma? He murmured, voice faint. With great effort, he forced himself upright and gazed into the mirror. The reflection that stared back was nothing but skin and bones, the wound at the heart of his brows and his eyelids sealed, leaving only a faint trace of blood. His mind reeled, consciousness sluggish and fragmented, as if his body had been drained of vital essence. The heart throbbed weakly, unable to circulate sufficient blood, leaving limbs cold and unresponsive. Painfully, he fumbled through his Tao Ti sack for spirit herbs. After what seemed an eternity, he located the ones he required. With the last vestiges of vital qi, he attempted to refine them into spirit pills, but the cauldron erupted violently, scattering the pills. Never had this occurred since he had mastered the art of healing. The memory of disabled elderly village flickered, a time when its cultivation had been shallow and errors frequent. Now, with his profound mastery, failure was impossible. Yet exhaustion had rendered his control over body, vital qi, and consciousness weaker than in his youth. Even the simplest refinement now demanded extraordinary effort. "Big senior brother, this divine stone you left has brought me endless torment," he groaned. Wei Suifeng's intention had been benevolent, but unforeseen complications had arisen. At the heart of his brows, an additional eye had awakened. The creation divine stone, seeking to assert itself, clashed with this nascent marvel, wounding Qin Mu with its insistence. Steeling himself, he attempted refinement anew. One cauldron succeeded, and he swallowed the spirit pills in a single gulp, channeling his remaining qi to catalyze their effects. Gradually, blood returned to his marrow, vital qi trickled back into his system, and his complexion lightened. Through persistent effort, he restored blood to 40% and recovered fragments of vital qi. Rising shakily, he probed the mystery of his missing jade pendant and creation divine stone. Could they have forced forth the eye at his brow? With numb scalp and trembling heart, he opened the third eye, revealing a pupil not round but hexagonal, vermilion red, radiating a sinister brilliance. The iris, though round, bore a pattern like endless chains of mountains, forming the character Qin. The jade pendant had merged with this third eye, weaving its power into his flesh. Calmly, he executed the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique, ordering his chaotic consciousness to recover fragments of his cultivation. A sudden surge coursed through his third eye, strengthening his awareness tenfold. Behind his head, a heavy circular ring spun, forged by flowing vital qi, amplifying the circulation of his elixir technique. The spirit embryo divine treasure's qi pulsed like tidal waves. Stars breathed in the sky. Yudu and devil qi swirled beneath, a living chest inhaling and exhaling cosmic breath. Yet the eye devoured his qi, blood, and vital energy. Less ferocious but relentless, he discerned the method of the third eye. Circling vital qi materialized behind his spirit embryo. Primordial liquid fog nourished his body, yet the eye siphoned the fruits of his labor. Stars multiplied, Yudu expanded, and the spirit embryo divine treasure grew beyond all expectation. The primordial liquid, once projected to refine in 10 years, now promised completion in mere months. Qin Mu entered the heart of his third eye, shrinking his consciousness to traverse its vast interior. The landscape was a boundless Qin land, mountains rising and falling to form the character itself. At its center, the creation divine stone loomed, embedded in a deep valley, locked by chains of consciousness and land. The horn of earth count had become the iris, the divine stone the pupil. His vital qi swirled like clouds, shifting the sky in unpredictable patterns. Unexpectedly, he realized the stone harbored a creature, feeding on his qi and blood to reconstruct a corporeal form. The sacrificial altar beneath the red light revealed a lump of flesh, a scarlet eye flickering as it sensed his presence. The monster's plunder had been hidden within the creation divine stone all along, its aim to borrow his consciousness for rebirth. Thoughts raced. This master of creation had perished in the bloodrust zone, yet hidden by Wei Suifeng's divine stone, it now sought resurrection. The jade pendant, earth count seal, had thwarted its total dominion, forcing it to steal piecemeal as he executed the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique. Qin Mu's third eye blazed. Strategy formed within his mind. First, he would control his qi and blood, severing the flow to the third eye to starve the creature. Then, he would weave a formation within his eye. The 9 heavens' eyes awakening skill alone was insufficient. He needed the great Tao of the ancient gods. Mobilizing his vital qi, he imprinted the runes of the 360 star gods within his third eye, transforming it into a third divine eye. Within the spirit embryo divine treasure, his qi surged as a river under his control, etching star god runes across the Qin wordland. An ancient, mysterious consciousness stirred within his mind. Hold on.